Hello and welcome to our video about writing executive summaries and introductions for business reports at ANU. Usually executive summaries and introductions both do very similar things. They both provide an overview of the whole report to your reader so that your reader can very quickly understand what is the report all about. The key difference is that executive summaries might go into a bit more detail about the results and the recommendations, whereas introductions can go into more detail about the background and the motivation for this study, so why it was that you did this particular research. Looking at executive summaries, they provide a succinct overview of the whole report. So think about it as this is the key part of the report that your client will read before they make their decision. So they are looking at the executive summary in order to figure out what should their decision be. So if you're recommending that they should or shouldn't invest in a particular company, or if you're recommending a set of solutions to problems that you have identified in a particular business, they should be clear in the executive summary. So typically, executive summaries include a brief outline of the context and the aim of the report, an outline of the main findings, the key message, and your recommendations. So the key message could be your recommendations about what are the solutions to improve the business performance, for example. Looking at an example step by step, here is one from a student. And in this executive summary, first of all, they set up the context and aim. So what is the purpose of the report? Then it provides the results. And you can see here that they've got some of the statistics, the key figures in the results, but keep it brief. Then they provide the key message and recommendations. So they're talking about how the company could be improved, what their set of recommendations are. So that's an example of an executive summary, whereas introductions contain a bit more about the background and the context, as well as the aim, scope, and limitations of the work. They might include, for instance, a statement about what this report does and what it does not do. It will also state your key message. So the introductions, very similar to an executive summary, can contain your key message, can contain your answer to the question. And it will outline the report structure, where it provides a brief overview of how is the report structured. So let's look at an example for this same report. And note here that this introduction is just one paragraph long. So again, introductions can be quite short. So it sets up a bit of background about the particular company that they're writing this report for. Then it presents the aim or the purpose of this report. Then it provides the key message. So it's key finding about profitability, liquidity, and capital structure, and why the low net profit ratio is a problem. They also outline the report structure. Now here, they've presented it in a way that's quite subtle. So they've actually said they can follow these steps to improve the business. So introducing an incentive-based wage scheme, reducing other expenses. Also, they're going to be talking about focus on advertising and managing debtors to improve the overall financial position. So you can see how those 4 key points are going to proceed in that same order in the report. So if in your introduction you're outlining the key reasons for your key message, make sure that you present them in the same order in which they appear in the actual report body. So you might even use signposting language like, first, we examine the incentive-based wage scheme. Second, we look at reducing other expenses, and so on. So you can use that very clear signposting language if you wish. So that wraps up this video where thinking about executive summaries and introductions, although they both provide an overview of the whole report, executive summaries go into more detail about the key findings, whereas introductions go into a bit more detail about the background, but generally they do a very similar thing, and they both can present the key message or the answer to the question and your recommendations. The following videos are going to be talking about paragraphing in your business report.